Every burger commercial makes a promise. The bun glistens like it was painted with varnish. The cheese stretches in slow motion. A wisp of steam rises, curling toward the camera like smoke in a perfume ad. One bite, they tell you, will change everything. But here's reality. Limp lettuce, a patty that tastes like it spent the night in the freezer aisle, and a receipt that makes you wonder if you just paid extra for disappointment. That contrast between the glossy dream and the soggy wrapper in your lap is the gap we're here to close. This script is for everyone who has ever pulled into a drive-thru craving salvation and left with regret. We'll break down which burger chains consistently fail to live up to their ads, why so many of them slip into mediocrity, and, most importantly, the two chains that actually deliver on their promise. Think of this less as a hit piece and more as a survival guide to the modern burger battlefield. Before we name names, let's set the ground rules. A burger at its best isn't complicated. Beef, bun, cheese, toppings, simple. But simplicity means there's nowhere to hide. To keep it fair, I used a 5-point checklist. First, ingredient integrity. Does the beef taste fresh or like cardboard thawed in a microwave? Is the cheese real and melted into the patty, or just a rubbery square? Do the veggies have crunch, or are they sad and see-through? Second, build and balance. A great burger holds together from first bite to last. A bad one collapses in your hand like a wet sandcastle. Third, consistency. A brand doesn't deserve loyalty if one location is heavenly and the next feels like punishment. Fourth, value. Are you paying for flavor or just for salt and marketing? Finally, operational signals. The vibe of a kitchen tells you more than the menu. Is the place clean? Do orders come out smooth, or do tickets pile up like unpaid bills? These rules may sound basic, but they separate the burgers you remember from the ones you regret. The burger industry is built on a paradox. Scale promises consistency, but scale often destroys it. Chains grow fast, and suddenly the training that worked for 10 stores doesn't translate to 1,000. Some crews know the rhythm, others are just trying to keep the line moving. Menu sprawl is another killer. Instead of focusing on 3 or 4 items and perfecting them, many chains add tacos, wings, salads, milkshakes, seasonal gimmicks. The result? A staff juggling 50 recipes instead of mastering 5. Price pressure squeezes owners to shave off pennies. That means thinner patties, cheaper buns, lower quality produce. Multiply that by millions of orders, and small sacrifices turn into big disappointments. And finally, speed. The obsession with serving faster often means the beef doesn't rest, the cheese doesn't melt, and the whole burger feels like a rush job. Convenience is the point of fast food, but when convenience kills quality, the promise breaks. Chains to avoid. The long list. Number 1. McDonald's. Nostalgia. Doesn't cook a burger. McDonald's wrote the playbook for fast food. Generations grew up on Happy Meals, Ronald McDonald, and the golden arches glowing on road trips. But here's the problem. Nostalgia doesn't season beef. Too many of their burgers now arrive with patties so thin they look like they've been ironed flat. The cheese often feels plasticky, more like packaging than food. And the buns, sometimes soggy, sometimes stale, rarely just right. Yes, every so often you stumble onto a McDonald's that gets it right, where the Big Mac hits the way it used to. But you shouldn't need luck to enjoy something so simple. If you need to drown a burger in special sauce to make it edible, the baseline is already broken. 2. Burger King. Inconsistent flame grill roulette. Burger King swears by its flame-grilled heritage. The Whopper is supposed to taste of char, of backyard summer barbecues. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you get a Whopper that's limp, lukewarm, and assembled with the enthusiasm of someone folding laundry. The inconsistency is the killer. The exact same order at 2 different locations can feel like 2 different worlds. And when you're hungry, maybe it's good, maybe it's not, is a gamble you shouldn't have to take. 3. Wendy's. The once great, now messy problem. There was a time Wendy's stood above the pack. Fresh, never frozen beef. Square patties that said, "We don't cut corners." For years, fans swore Wendy's was the thinking person's fast food burger. But the decline has been slow and visible. New buns that don't hold up. Sloppier assembly that leaves sauce dripping and lettuce sliding out. And an overall carelessness that crept in gradually, like a great band losing touch with its roots. Wendy's hasn't fallen off a cliff, but it's drifted from careful to casual. In the burger world, that drift is fatal. 4. White Castle. Iconic, but mostly novelty. White Castle is a legend. The tiny square sliders have history, a kind of Americana charm, but let's be honest, their magic only works in specific conditions. It's late at night, you're starving, and your stomach is forgiving. In that setting, a sack of sliders feels like salvation. In the daylight though, steamed patties on damp buns taste more like an experiment than a meal, and when you need half a dozen just to feel full, nostalgia is carrying more weight than actual flavor. 5. Jack in the Box. Variety at the cost of consistency. Jack in the Box is the definition of menu sprawl. Burgers, tacos, chicken sandwiches, breakfast, shakes. It's the Cheesecake Factory of drive-thrus. Variety can be fun at 2 a.m., but it also means no single item gets the care it deserves. The result? Bland patties, messy burgers, and quality that swings wildly depending on the crew. Sure, some diehards love the Bacon Ultimate Cheeseburger, but it's buried under a mountain of mediocrity. If you're pulling in at midnight, lower your expectations. 6. Sonic. Great for shakes, not for burgers. Sonic nails the retro drive-in experience. Roller skates, slushes, and shakes. It's fun, but the burgers, too often they taste microwaved. The cheese doesn't melt, the buns feel cold, and the toppings are watery. Sonic is brilliant at atmosphere and nostalgia, but if you're coming for the burger itself, prepare for disappointment. 7. Smash Burger. Technique without taste. Smash burgers should be a cheat code for flavor. Thin patties, crisp edges, juicy centers. Done right, it's perfect. But many smash burger locations don't get it right. You get burnt edges, greasy middles, and a bun that feels oddly sweet against the salty meat. They charge premium prices for what feels like a premium concept, but too often, the execution under-delivers. 8. Carl's Jr. Hardee's. Big, messy, and often overkill. Carl's Jr. made a name for itself with burgers so large they look designed for ads, not hands. Double patties, bacon, sauces, cheese, all stacked sky high. Great for marketing, terrible for eating. In reality, they often fall apart before the second bite. Too much grease drowns out flavor, and one sloppy location can ruin the whole brand's reputation. When it works, it's indulgent. When it doesn't, it's a disaster. 9. Dairy Queen. Stick to dessert. Dairy Queen deserves credit for one of the greatest fast food inventions ever, the Blizzard. But when it comes to burgers, it's a coin flip. Sometimes the flamethrower burger actually delivers. Other times, you get a dry hockey puck of beef that ruins your meal. The safest bet at DQ. Ice cream. Always ice cream. 10. Steak and Shake. Good burger, terrible timing. Steak and Shake is proof that a burger can be good, but still not worth it. Fans love the Frisco Melt and steak burgers, but the problem is operational. It takes forever. A burger that shows up after 30 minutes in a chaotic dining room isn't fast food, it's torture. 11. Whataburger. Regional legend inconsistent elsewhere. In Texas and surrounding states, Whataburger isn't just food, it's culture. But outside its heartland, the experience can wobble. Fans will defend it to the death, but the truth is, it's not universally consistent. Whataburger is more regional ritual than nationwide solution. 12. Checkers or Rallies. Fries that outshine the burgers. Checkers and Rallies hang their hat on seasoned fries. And yes, those fries are addictive, but when your fries consistently outperform your burgers, that's a problem. Too often the patties are oily, the buns are greasy, and the build is sloppy. The fries carry the meal, not the burger. Other honorable disappointments, from Arby's to Little Caesars to mall food court staples, the same themes repeat: menu sprawl, cost cutting, and training gaps. These chains have moments of charm, but you can't rely on them for burger satisfaction. The red flags, spot them in 5 seconds. You don't even have to take a bite to know a burger is doomed. If the bun dents and stays dented, it's soggy. If the cheese sits like a perfect square, unmelted, the grill was rushed. If lettuce looks translucent, the produce is old. If the fries bleed oil through the bag before you've left the parking lot, the kitchen's a grease trap. And if the pass-through window is chaos, tickets stacked, counters sticky, you already know what's coming. Despite all these issues, many of these chains still have die-hard fans. Why? Nostalgia, familiarity, accessibility, Food memories are powerful. A late-night Jack in the Box run with friends, a childhood Happy Meal toy, a White Castle binge after a party. The food itself might not be great, but the memory attached to it is priceless. That's why these chains survive. The two chains that actually deliver. Now, the good news. Two chains consistently rise above the noise. In-N-Out and Culver's. 1. In-N-Out, the power of simplicity. In-N-Out doesn't chase trends. No tacos, no wings, no 50-item menu, just a short list. Burgers, fries, shakes. That discipline is their secret weapon. Fresh beef, never frozen, buns toasted just enough. Cheese that actually melts into the patty, toppings that taste crisp, and then there's the secret menu, a manimal style, protein style. Fun variations without overcomplicating the kitchen. Add cautious expansion that keeps quality under control, and you get a brand that earns its cult status. Eating a double-double animal style isn't just food, it's an experience. And unlike so many chains, it delivers that experience every time. 2. Culver's, fundamentals perfected. Culver's takes the opposite route. Instead of minimalism, it perfects fundamentals. The Butter Burger alone proves it. Lightly buttered and toasted bun, beef blend with flavor, toppings applied with care. Nothing flashy, but everything in balance. Add Midwest hospitality and frozen custard that feels like a bonus instead of a distraction, and you get a chain that wins by doing the basics right. Culver's doesn't scream for attention, it earns it quietly with consistency. Can't get In-N-Out or Culver's? Then play defense. Stick to the basics. A classic cheeseburger over a stacked specialty. Ask for toasted buns. Request extra melt on cheese. Avoid drowning your order in sauces. They're often a cover-up for weak beef. Watch the kitchen if you can. If patties sizzle, that's good. If fries look limp, skip them. And if the crew looks overwhelmed, do yourself a favor and leave. Hunger is temporary. Regret lasts until your next meal. We live in a food culture obsessed with gimmicks. Neon buns, rainbow sauces, limited time monstrosities meant to go viral. But marketing doesn't taste good. Fundamentals do. The reason In-N-Out and Culver's rise above is simple. They respect the burger. They keep menus tight, training sharp, and priorities straight. A bun that holds, beef with flavor, cheese that melts, toppings that crunch. If more chains return to those basics, the drive-thru would feel less like a gamble. Until then, demand better. Stop falling for glossy ads. Start looking for red flags and learn where quality actually lives. So, which chain burned you the worst? Drop the name, the city, and the order in the comments. I'm mapping out viewer-sourced regret for a future deep dive. If you got value from this breakdown, hit like, subscribe for more food truth-telling, and share this with a friend who still believes in burger commercials. Life's too short for bad burgers. Learn the signs, demand the fundamentals, and eat like you know better.